we're back. We're talking about multi-digit whole number operations. And first off, just want to quickly discuss when we multiply using place value and using our basic facts and basic knowledge to kind of use these properties to break these down. So we have 23 times 20, and the way that we want to think, this is what we want to think. We want to think of this as 23 ones, okay, times 20 tens. I'm sorry, not 20 tens. That would be 21s. It's 2 tens, right? So if we think of it like that, when we multiply, what is 2 times 23? That would be 46. And what is 1 times 10? And this is just what I wanted to show you. So 10 times 1 is 10. So that's going to be in tens, right? So our answer is actually 46 tens or 460. Okay, so when we go back to this, 23 times 20 is 460. So this is just another way that you can do multiplication by breaking it apart and using your place value if you understand it really well. And you can do problems in your head. And that's what we're going to talk about with this word problem. So this word problem says tickets to a baseball game are normally $20 for an adult and $15 for a student. So a school, like think Plaza Vista or whatever school you're at, a school buys tickets for 45 adults and 600 students. Okay, so we got our chaperones and our students. How much money will the school spend on tickets? How much money are they going to spend on tickets? So really what we want to do is first we want to make sure that we understand what the question's asking. And so in this case, let's add a layer here. And I'm just going to underline or circle all the relevant information. So we know that it's $15 for a student, it's $20 for an adult. I'm just going to circle. You know what? Let's do this. It's $15 for a student. 20 for an adult. I'm going to use different colors here. And we bought it for 45 adults and 600 students. And the first thing that I want to do is just to make sure I know everything that's being asked. And then, of course, I want to know what the question is. How much is the school going to spend? Okay, that's the question, right? So we get rid of that. We know those key words. I'm just going to draw a picture. We talked about tape diagrams in one of the other videos, and you can go back and check that. I drew a tape diagram. So here's the adult representative of $20. So here's my $20 here. And let's see, let's do a behind, sorry. So we have our $20 here, $20 here. Oh, let's make it a little lighter. Let's do this. So here's $20, here's $20, here's $20, and so on 45 times, right? That's what it's asking, right? So what's the question? Well, the question is 45 times 20, right? It's a multiplication problem. And so 45 times 20 is $900. Now, how did I get that? Well, I got that by slowly breaking. I could break this down. How do I break 45 and 20 apart? Well, I can do 40 times 20, right? And I can also do 5 times 20, right? So when I break it apart, it makes it a little easier to understand and to kind of manage, right? And so, I mean, you could do 4.5 times 2. There's a lot of different ways that we can look at it, but if we pull it apart, and we're using our different properties in this case, we would get, what's 40 times 20? Well, 4 times 2 is 8, so that's 80, plus 5 times 20, right, which is 10, right? And in this case, 5 times 20 is 100, okay? So 40 times 20 is not 80, it's 800. So in that case, we would get 900. Right, so that's kind of the thought process on that problem. Now, let's get rid of that. Oh, let's if we continue with this, we also need to figure out it's how much money will a school spend in total, and we still have 600 students. Let's draw them in. And again, I drew myself a tape diagram. I love these tape diagrams. They're really nice and easy to understand. So we have 15, 15, 15, and then dot, dot, dot right in the middle, all the way up to 600. So what's the problem? Well, in order to figure out what we have, we need to add 15 600 times, right? If we're adding 26 600 times. Why would we do that? Why would I want to add that? So instead, what we do is, that's what the math problem's asking. So both of these problems are asking, well, what do we put together, right? So in this case, the problem becomes 600 times 15. And when we think of that, oh, like it starts to make sense. It becomes a little easier to kind of understand, to kind of grasp once we draw the picture. For some of us, we don't need to draw the picture. Totally understand. But for most of us, or for a lot of us, the picture helps us better understand what's going on. So this one, we can kind of break down to 600 times 10 plus, right, plus 600, whoops, sorry, 600 times 5. And so in that case, what's 600 times 5? And 600 times 10, that's 6,000. Okay. Right, three zeros. Plus, what's 600 times 5? Well, 6 times 5, 30, right? So we add another 3, and we get 9,000. So if we turn this up, 9,000. Oops. I'll add that to the other one. 9,000. And that's in dollars. Okay. So now that we've kind of solved it, we got to think, well, how much will the school spend? So again, we go back to this. That's our big question. What's our big question? Our big question is, how much is the school going to spend right here? So if we add these both together, that's what our big question asks. So if we get rid of all this, and we have our two problems, okay, remember you can always rewind if I'm moving too fast for you. We have our two problems, and we want to know, well, let's add them together. And so now it becomes just a very easy, simple problem. How much are they going to spend? Well, they're going to add these two together. And so if we do that, we have 900 plus 9,000. And, I would probably line them up this, and we'd get $9,900 is what the school will spend. So that's just a really brief, using the numbers to break them apart. It makes it just really easy to understand that. So I hope that helps you better understand, or start to understand, some of the multi-digit operations that we're going to do with math in this next unit and module.